All right, welcome to episode number 3 of the Zero to Payout series. And I hope all of you are doing great. Today, we caught ourselves a pretty nice W day. So we ended up taking one losing trade and one winning trade, and the winning trade heavily outweighed the loser, which is how it should be. So that is awesome. To give you guys the numbers on the account, today we're up $1,142. And to go into the performance stats, the account total P&L is up $694, and going down to the calendar, you'll see here, there's the $1,142, and I copy traded this on some of my other accounts, and so for the day, I'm up a little over $9,000, so no complaints there. Now, something that I want to talk about, so I said I took 2 trades, but this shows that I took 4 trades. Why is that? The second trade, the bigger winning trade, I actually added to that position. So I'm going to show you guys the executions, why I added, my thought process behind it. We're going to go through the whole fucking thing per usual. So let's do this shit. Going into the morning, looking on the 1 hour time frame, we were pretty clearly bullish in my opinion. Price has been respecting this giant 1 hour gap, and not only that, but price is also respecting this giant 1 hour gap, or not giant, but this significant 1 hour gap as well. Now, also we have these very nice highs above for buy side liquidity. And honestly today, because of how slow pre-market was, I was expecting a pretty big move in one way or the other. I was either expecting price, ideally, we shoot up and take out these highs, or we shoot down and we continue the move down out of this range that we've been in for the past month or so. And then the market's overall bearish. But what happened was at open, I saw that price had this 15-minute gap right here, which I really liked because I was going to use this as my condition. So essentially, if price held and respected this 15-minute gap, I would expect us to go lower and take out, this was Asia low. So I would expect price to go take out Asia low. And if price wanted to go through this gap, I would expect us to at least take out this draw, if not pump higher to these draws. Like I said, expecting a big move. Now, one thing about open today is that I want to make sure you guys can see this good. I want to make sure I'm not in the way. So I'll take that off for now. So going into the morning, this was actually an SMT that NQ put in. So NQ took out this high and ES did not. And so when I saw an SMT here and price retracing to this 15-minute, that made me lean a little bit more bearish for the time being. So the bias was very conflicted, which is why I wanted to see if this 15-minute held or not. What ended up happening when price opened up is there really wasn't any morning manipulation to the downside, and price just kind of, we had this move into the 15-minute gap, and this is where it got a little bit tricky for me. So where's open? Right here. So the open candle on NQ and ES was a very bullish candle right here. So ES actually pushed through that 15-minute gap, and NQ stayed inside that 15-minute gap. So what I saw is that ES ended up taking out this high, putting in an SMT, and NQ did not. And so once I saw NQ holding this 15-minute gap, and then we had this move down on this 1-minute candle, I fully expected price to flush to at least this low, if not Asia low down here. And so I was waiting to get a little bit more confirmation on an entry, but ES still held up very, very bullish. I didn't have enough conviction to take longs on ES because NQ still looked very bearish, like it was respecting this 15-minute, and that was my condition for the day. Then ES had this big pump up candle and took out this draw, and NQ started correlating to the upside. Recently in the market, we have been disrespecting SMTs left and right. I mean, usually I'm very much against targeting a draw that's SMT'd, especially in the same day, but it seems like I've just seen over and over again, SMTs just keep getting ran through, and we just keep targeting the draws anyways. And so my thought process was, if I ideally on the higher time frame want to see higher prices, we're gonna run this high anyways. So honestly, if price is gonna blow through that 15-minute bearish gap, that was my condition for the day, I'm still willing to target this high on NQ. Well, and it was actually, I think this was gonna be my actual final target now that I think about it. So when price, ES came up. We ended up taking out that high. I still wanted to see NQ take out that high as well. So when price retraced into this 1 minute fair value gap and we had this beautiful bullish candle respecting it, I figured it was worth the risk. And so I took my entry. I wanted to wait on the next candle to see if we held this area, and we did. So I took an entry. It was at 512.50. Yeah, right here. And then my take profit, I actually didn't have one. I wanted to manually close this position because if I want to see price pump up higher time frame, I'm expecting a bigger move. So my plan was to go break even at these draws right here, depending on how we reacted, possibly squeeze out some more RR, or just get break even on the trade, and oh well. Unfortunately, price immediately went against me and stopped me out. So a little bit unfortunate, not too heavy of a loss there, but what this did give me was full conviction that with this displacement, price definitely wanted to go lower and take out Asia lows. We put in an SMT at, let me mark this out just so you can see how clear it is. We put in an SMT at these highs. I'm going to take this off, and then got this immediate beautiful reaction lower. I mean, this was perfect. This is exactly what I would want to see for lower prices. Price comes up, we fail to take the draw because of the SMT. If we want the draw, price should respect this gap and take the draw. Instead, what do? We run through this 1 minute fair value gap, beautiful displacement, obviously respecting that 15-minute gap. So I entered in shorts because I was very confident. Was this a revenge trade? No. This was me realizing that, okay, my initial bias was incorrect. Now that it's dumb clear, I'm going to take the more clear trade and execute. I'm trying to capitalize when the market's dumb clear, so why am I going to sit out? So I took a short. It was on this candle right here. I have my stop up towards this high, and then my take profit was Asia lows. This position was not just a straight up, this how many contracts. No, I added to this position. So I'm going to turn on my executions and show you exactly what that looked like. So when we started dumping, I was very convicted that we were going to take Asia low, but I wanted to see if I could add to the position because I figured we were going to have a big move after pre-market being so slow. So when price came up, we had this 1 minute fair value gap here. Price comes up into it, taps it. I don't add right on this candle. I wait for the next candle to give me confirmation that we are indeed going lower. Once this candle starts printing bearish, I added three contracts to it, and then I still have my stop at break even. Because my entry was so good up here, I was able to add to this position and then keep my stop loss at break even while being sized heavier. That's how you protect yourself. Price failed to displace and take out this draw. Price comes back up. We hit this fair value gap again, and at this point, my entry is like somewhere around here is what it averaged out to. So I was like, I might get break even, it might flush. When we got this next reaction, price went lower, and then this candle displaced, then I had ultra conviction that price wanted to take out Asia low. So I added again on this candle. I had my stop at break even again. It was sort of around the top of this wick, and I was expecting to see price flush. Now what I did notice is ES, somehow, I wasn't even paying attention, ES became the weaker asset. So I saw that ES was going to take this before NQ, which was a little bit unfortunate. So I just wanted to see how price would react. If I saw that NQ is displacing through Asia lows, then I would hold the trade. If I saw that we were taking Asia lows and not displacing, the candle was slowing down, I was just going to manually close. At this point, when I saw that price was not just displacing and ripping through the lows on ES, I ended up closing my position at 336.50. And I was not mad about it because I was up pretty heavy on this position anyways, and looks like that was a smart thing to do. Sometimes, yes, I do believe in letting your trade play out, the probabilities, letting those play out, but you also have to realize when things are going against you, and if you're already up a lot, then sometimes you need to just protect yourself, take your profits, and walk away. And that was the smart decision here as ES took the draw, and then we kept moving higher. So very happy with this trade. It's exactly what I wanted to see, a perfect example of a position you should add on to. I mean, this was beautiful. Now, one thing I saw some people take, I'm gonna take the executions off. A lot of people took something like this. Now, the reason why I don't like this trade is, first of all, you're entering your full size, fully risk on when prices already swept out one of the first objectives, which was this low right here. And it's not showing any signs of completely delivering through it yet. So the reason I added to this position, I was already protected. I was risk off. My stop was at break even either way. But if you're entering this position, you're fully risk on, it's a little bit sketchy, okay? It's a little bit sketchy. Now, I know everyone went break even on this, so that's good, but you wanna really be careful with that because we could have easily swept this first draw and then moved higher like we did when ES swept out this draw and started moving higher. So you really wanna be careful with that. My takeaways from the day is I haven't journaled yet. I wanted to film this video. I had to get a quick workout in, but the takeaways is rules are rules for a reason. I cannot be targeting draws that just got SMT'd, okay? Sometimes it'll work out, but in the future, in the long run, as time plays out, it's not going to be that 70, 80% win rate model that I want to stick with, okay? Think about the next 100 trades. Don't think about the next 5 or 10 trades. So that is what I need to write down. That's pretty much the only thing. I'm very happy with how I handled the first losing trade, gathered myself, realized the market was dumb clear, and executed properly. That was amazing. So very happy with that. But as always, I have the link to join my free Discord. That's gonna be in the description of this video. I post my buys every single morning. I post the draw and liquidities that I'm looking for. I review any trades that you guys send in. I'm very honest about them too. I try to give my proper insight on it, and it's all completely free. So definitely join up. The community would love to have you, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.